Okay, is it recording?
Yeah.
I think so.
Right, I'm Kieran Poole from Rubbish Snooker, and this is the Cherrywood Podcast.
Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Simon Burridge.
And me, Rachel Burridge.
Right, we're here with Kieran. Thanks for coming on, Kieran. Kieran Poole. This is going to be a weird one, but before we start, how long on the sign? You know the score. If you get the closest.
Wow, that is amazing. He just looked at it and it fell off.
What do you reckon? I'll put it up again for you.
Do I win? Do I win something?
You get £100 to a charity of your choice.
Okay.
All right. Let me give it another good stick.
What happens if it happens again? Does it go double?
That one doesn't count.
Oh.
You should have said 1 second, and then if it fell off, I would be like, oh, he's won. That one don't count. This sign has had it now. Completely.
So you're saying it might not actually get to the end of the year where we're going to just burn it.
Well, I can just sit here and hold it like that.
Just let go, that's it. So how long do you reckon? Well, you've already experienced me.
94 seconds.
94 seconds from when we get back to sponsor. We'll go to sponsors.
Today's sponsors are Dimedici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on dimediciassociates.com.
Club Awesome, for autistic children and their families, a place where everyone belongs and fun knows no age limit.
And we're back. Right, timer started, 94 seconds. Are we just going to wait the 94 and let's say...
Oh, yeah, that's what
Great podcasting, just like, okay.
Right, Kieran, how you doing?
Hot.
Yes, it's very hot.
Very hot.
Yeah, I have that effect on people.
Yeah, I know.
Male or female.
This has been recording in November. Like it's.
So, our good friend Kelly Milano from Club Awesome, who is also on the sponsor thing, we always put a Club Awesome up. She recommended you come on the show because she said you're amazing. Basically, what you do is amazing. And she met you at the Pride of Medway Award.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
And the last guest we had in was Vince Maple.
Oh,
and
he was there. He was there.
Talking about the Pride of Medway
So
Awards.
it looks like we're getting everyone from the Pride of Medway.
There we go.
All queuing up outside.
Yep.
Tell us about yourself, what it is you do.
So my name's Kieran, and I've created something called Rubbish Snooker, which makes art out of litter on a snooker table, which is outdoors.
Okay.
As bonkers as that sounds. I've brought some in, that I'm going to show you, and I'll tell you all about it.
And it's a magnifying glass as well. Is that so we can see the picture better?
Yes, I've brought a magnifying glass, yeah. Should we have a look at it now?
Let's do it. Yes,
Right.
and we can talk about how you got to this.
So,
That's all right.
this piece here, voila.
Okay.
So
Spitfire.
that is a
that's
Spitfire.
wicked. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be embarrassing if you're like, oh, that's awful?
Shocking.
So that's my garden, right?
Right, okay.
And it's a 7-foot pool table.
Okay.
And all of these are littered lids
Yeah.
that I've found. And this piece is called Spitfire Sunset, Spitfire going into the sunset.
Mhm.
And so what I do is it takes about 4 hours to do, right?
Do you stop motion it?
Nope. No. I just take a photo of it and then it's done. So I did that. It takes about 4 hours, and then I take a photo of it, go up a ladder, my neighbour's ladder, so it's like a real community effort.
Anyone holding a ladder?
No. Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah. I have 3 points of contact. I take a photo, and then that gets printed on. And the canvas is actually made out of recycled plastic bottles. So the actual canvas
Wicked.
Oh, that's cool.
is cool.
Is it yeah.
It's like pet
So
fibres.
do you get it? Does someone else print it?
Yeah,
for
so it's another company make it for me. And this one in particular, I did it on the Thursday, and then I didn't like it, so I redid it. So it takes 4 hours. The next day I redid it, so I take it all apart, put the lids like back in the boxes, because obviously they're all organised by colour. Obviously, I'm a very interesting person. Yeah, obviously. And then I redid it because I didn't like it on the Friday. Didn't like that either. Redid it on the Saturday. Right.
Blimey.
Didn't like that. I still don't like it, but because it's out of proportion. But basically, I did it 4 times, okay? And on the 5th day, a Spitfire flew over my house.
What? How cool
Yeah.
is
So
that?
you kept that one. That was.
It was,
fine.
yeah. And but like, it
There's
would
a
have been
sign for
ridiculous
you.
if a Spitfire had flown over at the time I was doing it, and you'd have like a shadow. Wouldn't that have been cool?
Oh,
But
that
yeah,
would have been wicked.
yeah.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't say shit, but it was half.
I'd been like, oh, sugar, there's a plane. But yeah,
Shadow.
so like, it was extraordinary that like I kept redoing it, and then the day that I haven't done it,
There it goes.
like 90,
Way past 90. So that's
Could
the
you
result.
actually? I think things broke off there.
Something did come up as
Why
well.
don't you put the art up? You know, with that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want that rubbish on there, do you? No.
It might break.
And yeah, so that's just one of them. That was one of the first ones I did. And yeah, and they're in some exhibitions at the moment. Currently at Chatham Library, and it's been part of a recent art festival, Medway Open Studios as well.
I just want to thank you for knowing how to use a mic, because this is the first time I've ever had to turn the mic down on people. So thank you very much.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, well, I sort of know.
So yeah, you got a bit of background like that, haven't you? What do you
Yeah, so I used to. I've done a lot of radio stuff, and I was lucky enough to produce at the BBC, and did a bit of presenting and like quite a bit of podcasting. So,
Oh,
so
right.
I love audio.
So Radio 2 you mentioned, is that right?
Yeah,
Or-
Radio
or
2.
you've been all around the BBC.
Radio 2, 5 Live, BBC Radio Kent as well.
Oh right.
Quite a few years ago, and yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and you look about 6.
I know. Guess, go on, have a guess.
I'm going to go high.
Well, yeah, because obviously, yeah,
I'm going to go 38.
So I'm in year 11 at school. I'm not.
You're a bit of a Steve Merchant height-wise, aren't you?
yeah, but he's funny.
No, you're doing all right. You're doing all right.
I'm 32, but yeah, so I used to do like I taught at a college, and I would do like we'd have like parents' evenings for 16, 18-year-olds, right? And a parents' evening, and parents would come up to me and be like, "Can you just tell us where like the lecturer is?" Yeah, like, oh, you're so cute. But actually, can you tell us where he is or she? No, it's me.
And then you sit behind the desk and go, right, your
Yeah.
son's a little shit.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not. But yeah, and then it'd be like, yeah, that would happen quite a lot. So yeah, I used to hate looking so young, but now I quite like it. It's quite a blessing.
Well, yeah. I used to look young, and then I hit an age,
ya?
and it was like, you can piss off, Rachel.
I'm not going to comment. There.
No, okay. So is that how you started off? So what happened when you? What did you do when? What did you want to do when you leave school?
So I was doing stand-up comedy.
right.
So I did. I was doing that when I was 16.
Wow.
Okay.
That takes some balls
So
to do
1
that
year
so
ago.
young.
And
1
yeah,
year ago.
so I was doing there's a club called Up the Creek in Greenwich, which is quite like a renowned club, and I did that on a school night.
Actually, I believe that's where Robert Rivet went up the creek. We had someone else
Yeah.
who's a comedy writer.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
comedy writer as well.
Yeah, so
but,
it's quite a really big club, and I remember doing that when I was like 17 on a Sunday night. Because you're brave then, aren't you? I'd never do it now. But so I was doing that, and I was I don't do that anymore. But I was doing like stand up. So I've always done like creative things. And then this kind of came out of this was completely random. So I randomly moved to Medway. So I'm from Hartley, sort of more North Kent.
Yep.
And then I moved out with my parents after COVID, and I've always loved snooker. I actually presented a snooker podcast as well. Like I absolutely love snooker and pool, and I've always wanted a table, but you need a massive space, right? So like
I'm the same.
Yeah,
She won't let me have the dinner
you
table
need-
/ pool table.
Yeah.
She's bang
yeah.
out of order, isn't
So you
she?
need 12 by 15 feet, right,
Yes.
which is a humongous area
Yeah.
because of the queue length.
Yes.
And then when I moved into my, I started renting my house in Waldersley. So I randomly moved there because I picked it because I love the garden, right? So I'm quite into
Okay.
gardening, and I
Yeah,
picked
yeah.
the garden. And then I found out that you can buy outdoor tables, like
Oh,
specially
right.
designed
So
outdoor
for
tables.
outdoor.
It's
So
like
that
any
one
weather.
survives outside.
Yep. So it's specially designed wood. It's specially designed cloth. So it obviously has a cover, but it's had like snow on it. It's had rain. It's had all sorts of weather. There's a
Mate,
cat that
you've
sleeps
got to
underneath
tell us where
it.
you got that from, because she's going to hate this.
It's like my garden's like sort of slanted like that.
Yeah.
So it's on like slabs.
Yeah,
But so it's on grass, and then like I put like these black things around it to protect the grass.
Oh,
in
right,
winter.
that is going at the back of the garden.
But yeah, so like it's great. So I got that just to play on it, because would you believe like most people just get a pool or snooker to play on?
I thought they always used it for art.
No, like it's quite.
Because when I think pool table and
You
snooker,
think
I
lids,
think
don't
bottle
you?
tops.
You think rubbish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. It's normal, isn't it? So I then started litter picking in my local area because it was quite bad. Joined a litter picking group, Was doing that a lot.
It's very noble, that.
And I've always hated litter. Like, I detest it. And started litter picking, and then a friend of mine said, like, why don't you try and fill the table with litter? And I was like, I don't want to ruin my table. And then I can't quite remember where I got the idea for lids. And I just filled the table with lids, and he said, like, he challenged me to fill it across 2023. So, like, in terms of, like, how many lids would it take to fill the table?
Yeah.
And we thought it would take the whole year, and it took a month.
Wow.
Because of the level of litter, okay?
Those blue ones, what are they? Water bottle
Basically,
lids?
yeah. So those are, Oasis, water, yes, yeah. And there was just loads. And then, so I filled it, and then I went to recycle all these lids, and I was like, okay, that's done, challenge over. And then I started making art, and I became an artist, which is something I'm still quite uncomfortable calling myself. And I was doing like trick shots originally with litter, so that's how like it started, rubbish snooker.
Yeah.
And then now and then I started making pieces like football kits, football logos, and then I started making like more like serious pieces. And now it's like in galleries, and I go to schools and do workshops about it. And I'm here.
Your aim is to spread, obviously, the awareness of how much litter we're dumping everywhere. Yeah, is that?
Yeah. So it's not like I'm not asking for people to suddenly go out.
You're rubbing on the mic and the cable. Can you point? She's a nightmare, mate. I'm glad you're here.
What's wrong?
She's literally rubbing the mic like this.
Oh.
Just point it up to you.
Just be yourself.
Pivot it up. Look.
Okay, right. So
this happens every time. Sorry, mate.
last time I had it in my face and you had a go at me. Now I don't have it in my face and you're having a go.
Laughing it like a drink, so I can hear everything you're doing. Look, there you go, like that. There you go. She usually has this bit up, covering her face, so no one can see her.
Oh.
And now she's hugging it.
I like this though, the bottle that says "Let's go, keep going, almost there, getting close."
But
Yes, that means divorce. That's what it's taken her through the process of leaving me.
Well done.
Is that water?
Yes, no. I need it.
Right, sorry about that. But she does drive me spare.
I don't know what I was talking about.
You were talking about the message of your.
Oh yes, I'm not asking people to suddenly go litter picking because there's risk. There's a lot of risk. Well, not risk, but like health and safety. I'm not saying go and pick up litter
and you'll lose half your material if they did.
Well, I don't mind that if there was no litter. I would genuinely be happy if there was no litter and I wasn't doing this. That would. I don't know what I'd be doing, but I'd be doing something else. I'd be playing on the table for a laugh. So I just want people to see the litter. I think that's the argument. So I like to see it. Because I think if you notice litter, there's less chance of you littering later. So I think like a lot of my friends are like, why do you litter pick? You're literally picking people's rubbish up. Like you're, and some of it isn't pleasant. All right.
Oh, yeah, I understand that,
it's not nice, and it stinks, and it's not pretty.
So do you wash everything out before you put it on the table?
Yeah, the lids are all clean. Yeah. So the lids are all
What do you do? Just stick them all in the washing machine.
Wash it up.
No, I do not. But I have a toothbrush. Genuinely, yeah, I know. This
Do you
is me.
toothbrush all the lids?
Yeah, but like some of them are upcycled as well, so that's really important to say. So like, I've got about weird boast, but I've got about like 12,000 lids. Okay, all organised into colours, but about 30% of them are upcycled. And what I mean by upcycled is, say, like you might have bottles, and then you go like, "Oh, Kieran, I've got lids for you."
Right. Okay.
Or like,
so they're not all.
So not every single one has been littered. About 70-75% have been littered. And then like other litter picking groups now across the country send me.
That's what I was going to ask.
Send me littered lids and boxes. So like they will send me them and say.
I wanted to ask what that would represent, what location that would represent. Is it UK?
So all of that.
So it's UK mainly. Yeah. So like it's it's. But I've had like lids sent from all over, and what I like is like the crushed lids, so the broken lids that have been like run over by cars.
Right.
Because what I do with those is I go into primary schools with them, and I do a presentation to the children, and they get to make mosaics out of them, and it's really cool.
Oh, wow.
And like they love it because they've all been mashed up, and some of them have been eaten by like rodents.
Yeah.
And then they learn about how like
they're going to get it in the system.
It goes in there, and like it really hurts them, and and like they really care, the children really care about that sort of thing, and obviously the lids are all clean before I go in, but they love it. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, and it's really cool to see like the kids. I put them in groups, and they just make like these beautiful pieces of art that like they don't like just copy what I do. They come up with just like their own things. And then they learn about like litter and plastics and the oceans and all this sort of thing.
So is this something you do full time?
Part time. So
Part-time.
So I'd love it to be full time. What my dream is to take it on tour. I did a show in Luton,
Right.
Medway, Luton, not Bedfordshire, in a few months ago, and it was really cool at Luton Social Club, and I had like an audience, and I was doing a show about the art and like telling funny stories about them, and we filled a 12-foot snooker table up with lids, and I made the world atlas on it. And then we were challenging audience members to try and pot a ball on it, and it was like next to impossible.
Right. Okay.
And we actually used a ball that was broken, so it was a pool ball that had been littered, right? That a friend found, and it was like half a pool ball. So it was almost you couldn't pot it. Someone actually did. I couldn't do it. Someone actually did. But we spent about 5 hours filling a 12-foot snooker table,
Blimey.
which is bigger than this room.
So you got people to help you.
I had two mates, two of my best friends, help me do that one. Yeah, because they're absolutely lovely. And it would have taken me. I'd still be there doing it. But yes, it did a live show, and it was really cool, and the audience really liked it, and they learned stuff, and yeah, I'd love to take like a. It's not a comedy show that it's funny, I hope, but it's an art show with comedy, if that makes sense.
Which with a message as
But,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you could take that with the children as well. Obviously, not really the comedy side, but you can actually go around to every school in the UK.
Yeah,
and
that's what I want to
share
do.
your message.
That's what I want to
amazing.
do. And it's like the schools, like as part of their curriculum, they do a lot of eco stuff.
Yeah.
So, like it kind of links into that. I know there's a book that a lot of schools do about a little turtle that gets like plastics in his stomach, because 100% of baby sea turtles have plastics in them.
Oh my god.
Baby sea turtles. So baby sea turtles are like really tiny, probably about the size of that.
Yeah.
100%.
All of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how we know that. 8 million
You
pieces.
checked them all.
Well, I'm about 97%. Yeah. 8 million pieces of plastic enter the ocean every day.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
From like, and it's not like huge pieces, it's like microplastics and stuff like that, and like teeny things and stuff like that. It just blows my mind, and I'm like, I don't understand how that happens.
But then that's transferring into human bodies now, isn't it? Because
is,
obviously we're eating the fish that have eaten the plastics, and then we're now
and our
It's in our
as well.
water.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost, but like 100 years ago, we didn't think about this sort of stuff,
No,
and we survived all right.
absolutely
So, yeah, there is a lot of
But
stuff.
plastic. When was plastic first invented? 50s, 30s?
I don't know, but it was designed to last forever. Because it was such a great invention. It was designed to last forever. So now we've got these. Like I do this thing with the children where I say like, what lasts longer, a can or like a nappy? So some nappies last 450 years. Can last about 200 years, and then bottle will last 400. So like an old, like a Coke bottle, something, 450 years. So if you left it, it would still be and that's where you're like, oh, okay, that's not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the bits like in the show and in the workshops. Yeah. Like people go back and remember, and then maybe tell their mate, "Oh, did you know this?"
That's
So
really good.
So take us through the process. So you would go out and collect, if you hadn't been sent all of these, if you were going to think about a new sort of piece of art, you would go
Did
out.
one yesterday.
Oh, did you? What did you do yesterday?
River Thames from above,
Oh, right, wicked.
So like start of EastEnders.
basically.
Yeah.
But for copyright reasons, no.
Yeah.
He knows. BBC boy.
It was West Enders.
Yeah.
Although it was the East End, but yeah, like
Midway
yeah.
End.
Other end of London are also available.
You got like the Millennium Dome. Yeah, they're all available. Every part of London's lovely.
So how would you? So you would go. So you picked litter for that project, just for that project, or you
I just
worked from. Bits
so when
you
I
had?
like coming here, if I see a lid on the floor, I pick it up.
And did you put my beloved valley in there?
As in the Cholton.
Yeah.
I have done a Cholton logo before.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, because a friend asked me to do one.
You got a picture?
I do. Not
I'll
on me, but
happily
yeah,
put it on the wall.
Yeah, I can have that. I can give you that, but I will have to give it to you for free as a gift because I can't sell it for copyright reasons. But if I give it to you as a gift, it's fine.
Oh, that's sweet, isn't it?
You can just take me out for lunch after. But yeah, I did 3 football logos early on. I did the Cheltenham one, Wolves, and Fulham. Don't know why I picked those. A guy I play football with asked me requested the Cheltenham Athletic badge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can get you that. It's in the middle of the
The
table.
reason I ask is because on EastEnders I always look out for the valley.
Can you see it on there?
Yeah.
You watch
The
EastEnders?
valley, well, yeah. When I used
I didn't
to,
know you could see it on there.
you can see the valley
I
in
think it's just
EastEnders.
this-
It's right by the. It's near the Thames barrier.
Okay.
So look
So
for
I
the Thames barrier.
did the Thames barrier out of ring pools on the River Thames. I think I did 2 days ago. So like the River Thames, the barriers out of ring pools.
That's cool.
So what's your favourite? Obviously, you don't just do bottle lids or anything like that. You would say that was your favourite media to use, or
It's the only one I can do.
Oh, right.
Right. So again, like one of the most powerful lines that I say in the school workshops is I get all the children and I say to them, listen, like I didn't like art at school. Right. I can't draw
Okay.
at all. I know nothing about art. I can't tell you. Like if we went to a museum, you might know more. Sorry, a gallery, you might know more. Yeah. I've got no artistic academic background at all. I genuinely can't draw. This isn't me sort of pretending to be humble. Like I can't draw. Never have been able to. Didn't like art at school. I like making stuff, but I can't. Like art is very much at school. It's like painting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't do that. So I just randomly picked that. And like no one else is doing it. So people make art out of litter. Quite a few people do that like, around the world. But no one's looked at a snooker table outdoors and gone, that's what I'm going to do as a frame. So like, I believe I'm the only person on the planet doing this, which is cool.
Wow.
And that I'd much prefer that, like doing something entirely unique.
So when you work do you sort of have this idea in mind? Do you think, okay, I'm going to do Spitfire in the sunset? You have this idea in mind. You don't work from a Spitfire photo, or
I probably did for that. Yeah,
right.
I probably
to
did.
Get the colours.
That's a hurricane, not a spit.
Yeah. Well, I probably the fuselage isn't long enough. That's why I don't like it. Genuinely, that's what annoys me about that. It should be longer before the tail.
Right, okay.
I think so. Like I don't really know, because to me, right, again, I really hope this doesn't sound like a ridiculous humble brag, but I kind of don't understand why everyone else doesn't do this. In like, it's just paint by numbers.
Okay.
So people say, oh my God, I could never do that. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I think you could. I think it is like quite simple, but
simplicity works, and it creates a message, I think, as well. Look how much rubbish I've picked up from an hour, from 2 hours, that sort of thing. And this is what I've made out of it.
Yeah, and
you guys stop littering.
This one, if I hand it to you first. So this is basically like, these are all prints of, so I've done about 100 of them. But these are all the different ones I've done, and then they're in ring pools. So if you use that to look at it.
So who did you get to print on there for?
That's me, I did that. I made that.
Well done.
So it takes a long time. So basically one of them, that is one of them. So in the ring pool, it's got the name.
Oh, yeah.
So like I sell these as well. So they've got like
that's wicked.
The piece of art is within the ring pool. There's one where it's only 3 millimeters big because it's in the tiny bit of metal that breaks off the ring pool. And so these are currently on display in Chatham Library, and they will be for until August.
Oh, so that's where your work is, Chatham Library?
At the moment, yeah, and Walderslade Library as well.
Right, okay.
I love all the flags as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's just like, I don't know how many, my maths isn't all that good, but what's that, like 6 by 8? So that's 48 pieces. So that's I don't know how I came up with the idea of putting them in a ring pool, but I just thought like no one's probably ever done that before, and it was very, very fiddly.
What's this 3 millimeter one you were talking about? Is it not on there?
No. So the 3 millimeter one is basically when you take a can off, a ring pool off. Yeah. There's a bit of metal that's attached to the ring pool, and I've used those. So it's it's a 3 millimeter circle. It's I can't really explain it very well. But basically, like an awful lot smaller than that. They look huge compared to it. But yeah, like the kids love that. So like, I did this. Can
I ask how you did this? Is this just one bit of paper you printed all these on and then put the ring pool over the top?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
It's actually quite simple. Yeah, like it's not.
Sorry to.
No. I mean, you've ruined the magic.
But it's really cool.
Yeah, and like they're all like probably like Stella Artois ring pools or something like gold. Like, again, I've got this sad thing now where I can identify lids and ring pools. And
I suppose you can. Yeah.
It's not something to be proud of, I don't think.
I think it's an amazing idea. Really, really good, amazing idea.
To the point where she sounds like she's going to cry. Amazing idea.
I think it's amazing that you are bringing this message to children as well. And, I know from having children in my son's going into year 4 now, and his school would blow their minds doing something like this. So I think it's so good. With regards to the schools, you would supply the products, or would you make them go out sort of like a few weeks before?
I take the lids because I bring a box of like run over lids, so about 3,000 lids that have all been like broken, run over, and the idea behind that is that the children pick them up and they're like, oh, I can still, because it can't be a lid anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the idea that no, you can still make something out of it.
Yeah.
So they're all like these are the pretty lids. If there's such a thing. But in the dark corners of the internet, pretty lids are things probably. Like the ones with the schools are like run over, and it's the idea that they can be reused. And you pick up this lid and it's probably been run over like 5 times by a lorry or something, and it's completely like unrecognizable, and it's probably been there for like 30 years or something. Like I found litter. So you were both born in like the 90s, yeah?
I love you.
Yep, right. I found stuff from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s quite a lot. You find I found a Coke can that was advertised in the France '98 World Cup.
Oh right.
Oh my God.
Quite
buried, like in way in a bush.
Yes. So basically, what happened there was like a. Do you remember it was really hot a few years ago? It was like 40 degrees here. It was like 2-3 years ago, and then a lot of there was a bush area that actually caught fire, and it revealed all this litter. So there was some Pepsi cans from the 80s that were like white, and the old style ring pool.
Were they in good condition?
Pretty much, because they would last 200 years.
Paintwork bleached or
no, it's still. I mean, some of it was faded slightly, but still recognizable, and you could see the expiry date. So, I found. Do you remember sun blessed bread? Remember that?
Yes, yeah.
So I found. I was walking along, and it was a canal, and I just saw this bag. I was I just went to pick it up and put it in the bin. I picked it up and I was like, I've never heard of this brand. What is it? And I'm sad enough to have contacted the company and were like, I've just found this. I'd love to know what year it's from. And they're like, that's 1981.
Wow.
So
my goodness.
But it was just by the canal. So someone had a bread picnic, saying like that. How many years ago? 40 years ago. And it stayed there because it was stuck in the ground. But it was So 40 years ago, someone sat there, and then 40 years later, silly old me's come along and picked it up. So that I don't know, it's not treasure hunting because it's not treasure, but that's the idea of the stories it tells. I really like that.
Do you if you're just going to town, do you pick stuff up?
I'm a nightmare to walk with.
And you're quite tall, and also your back is short, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a very quick walker anyway, but I
imagine you're a strider. You're quite a strider.
Yeah. I stop every picking that up. Yeah, I'm a nightmare.
Because it can be quite dangerous because there's some dodgy things out there that people,
syringes.
Yeah, I mean, so stuff like that you don't touch unless sometimes so if you find registration plates, you have to tell the police.
Really? Oh,
yeah, because often it's they've chucked off to replace them. I'll tell you the weirdest thing I've ever found, right? Is the sort of JD Sports ring bags that everyone used to put their PE kit in.
Yep.
Something like that, right? Other brands available.
Way before mine, after my time.
Those string bags, right? So there's one of them in a tree, okay, quite high up, but I managed to reach it. And inside it was a shoebox. Now, normally you quite often find shoeboxes with old shoes in that someone's nicked the new shoes from the shop,
and
stuck their old shoes in and left them. Okay, so I was expecting that, right? So I get the shoebox, open it up, and there's another bag inside it. Inside the bag is a dead pigeon.
Oh.
And it wasn't it was in quite good condition, but it was up a tree. So it wasn't a pet because you don't bury a pet by throwing up a tree.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the story was, but that just So a pet. I would like to think it's children, just kids messing about rather than adults. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That was bizarre.
Wow.
So I'd love to know the story behind that.
Absolutely. That's weird.
Yeah, and you find all sorts of rubbish, I suppose. But if it's dangerous, syringes, just don't touch it.
Yeah.
Or you tell the police or something like this,
So what if obviously lids weren't available to you? What media would captivate you? What would you say? I'd love to work with that, or I'd love to do it.
Well, obviously now lids are all attached to bottles, right? So as of July the 3rd. Right, it's a new EU law that says that all lids have to be attached. So
is
if you
that
know,
that stupid thing
yeah,
that you
screw 'em.
yeah. So if you notice now, if you drink
Scratching your root.
if you drink Lucozade, Oasis now, they've Coke was one of the first to do it, but now they're all attached.
Yeah.
Okay, but they still get littered. So
Yeah, you can pull them off.
So like people, people keep saying to me, "Oh, like you're not going to have any more lids." I will,
Yeah.
because they will still be littered. Ring pulls as well. I also start, and this is like, again, I don't know if I can get more quirky. I don't know if that's possible. But I started a shopping list, right?
Okay.
People's handwritten shopping lists that are leaving trolleys.
Oh
And they're
God,
litter.
that's
right.
very
Right,
true.
so I've
yes.
collected about 500 of them,
Oh God, I bet one
Right.
of mine's on there.
and
What, you throwing it in, left it in
No,
the trolley? and bang
like
out
you
of
go,
all?
you go to put it in the bag, and then you put the bag in there, or the
And
receipt
leave it,
falls
yeah.
out, and I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
no, I
like
mean,
go,
yeah.
yeah. And
But you find
it's
they're
a
amazing.
genuine accident. But
so like as part of the live show I do, I have like examples on the screen, and I like make a story up for them.
yeah,
And they're brilliant because they like have the most charming spelling errors.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like they're so like endearing. Or you've got it where like maybe the husband's written it,
yeah.
and then the wife or husband has come, the partner has come along and gone
And
like,
added
no,
stuff to it.
no, you had 2 last week. How have you gone through
What I
them?
do-
No.
When she's asked me to write something on the list for her, which is on the fridge, and she rips it off and takes it, I put sex toys on there and stuff like that.
So if there's any on your list that say that,
You're the one that does that.
but it's normally I can't actually read it because, like you said, it's on the fridge and it's like, oh, I need that. Just
Yeah,
scribble it
yeah.
down,
I
and then
love
I
it,
get
yeah.
there and I'm like, what the hell does that even
So it's really
say?
cute. I need
I
bread,
love 'em.
bacon, butt plug.
Be yourselves, as long as you're being yourselves. But yeah, like it, and you have it where like the kids written it.
Yep.
So I found one. It was like chocolate, sweets, popcorn, crisps. Every single one of them was spelled incorrectly.
Yeah.
And it's just so adorable.
That's one of mine again.
And then he said at the end, it was like stuff for the sleepover, crisps, sweets, chocolate, and like there was just and it's really endearing. And,
See, my son does that.
and it's the
mine.
handwriting. It's
Yeah.
the like. It's storytelling, you know.
Yeah.
It's like they're almost like little poems.
Well,
So I've been making stuff out of them.
How long have we been examining caves doing exactly the same thing?
Yeah.
It's literally their shopping list on what they're going to kill.
Well, but and it's like it always starts with eggs or milk.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but then you've got you've got some really sort of cute things where the same. So I've got 5 of the same one, so it's the same person.
Oh.
Yeah, as in like the
That's really-
same handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And
Same
so,
person.
yeah, and you
They're
could,
still
like,
doing it.
I mean, I know.
Definitely littering.
I'm no expert on handwriting, but like you can tell quite easily, like
Yeah.
these are this, and it's always written on the same sort of like it's about that. So like an A4 exercise book,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like 5 lines ripped off every time.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
yeah.
like that long, and it's also to save paper, I guess, but then they don't write on the other side. But yeah, so you find. I find that really endearing and quite interesting, and like that's part of the live show. So I don't do that with the children because children would be like, "What's that? A shopping list? Don't know what that is." But with like the adults and stuff, they really like that because they're like, "Oh, like that's funny." Like the stories I make up for them.
Because I think everyone does it. So everyone can
Yeah.
relate to it. Everyone wants to
And
shop
in Walderslade Library, there's 100 of them displayed at the moment on a wall with a story each. So there's
Yeah.
over 100, and it's me. It'd be weird if it was another artist. Wouldn't it? I'd be like, go and see it.
Take it.
It's far funnier than me. And they're pinned up, and then like underneath each one, there's like a story, like a funny story that I've made up
Wow.
to do with the shopping list.
Yeah. Well, I remember my son wrote on so I had all this, I think it was for a barbecue or something, and I had like all the meat I was going to get, all the drink I was going to get, and at the bottom, it just had poo and a little emoji. He drew an emoji, and I went, okay then. So I went down like the toy aisle or the sweet aisle, and there was this squidgy, like almost stress ball poo. And he went, did you get everything on your list? I went, yes, I
There you
did.
go.
And I literally put
There
it
you
in front
go.
of him, and he was like, that's amazing, Mum.
But now, like whatever he writes, he expects. you to
Yeah,
get.
exactly,
So,
yeah.
If he writes like Ferrari,
Gold, yeah.
or or house,
And I'm like, no.
you're really going to struggle, I'm afraid.
But
Maybe
he was
run for your own back there.
he was amazed though. He was like, oh my God, you actually did it, Mum. He was so pleased.
So that's and I did this again because I'm very clever, very intelligent.
You are.
I'm seriously
I can
intelligent.
sense it. I can
I'm
sense
like honestly, like it's beyond anything. Hence why I've got a silly hairband, right? So because I'm really intelligent, and on an outdoor snooker table, I thought I know what I'll do. I'm going to try and fill it with a list. Now, of course, paper versus wind. There's only one winner, isn't there?
Ah, yes.
So what happened? Again, remember I'm really intelligent. Okay, remember. I filled the table, didn't fill it. Only about half of them flew off.
Yeah.
Right, and I had to go round my neighbours
Get them all
saying,
back.
"Hello, can I come and get the stuff that I've just littered in your garden that someone else littered of their shopping list?" And thankfully, my neighbours all not like
No,
me.
how mental you are.
Well, no comment on that. But one of them actually stands outside. He watches me do it and tries to guess what I'm doing. And I was doing the world map, and he was like, "Hawaii's in the wrong place." So he was like, he will do that. But yeah, like these shopping lists just flew over the fences, and I had to go around and say, "Can I have litter that I've just littered that someone else littered
from
of
your
the shopping
garden?"
list?"
So your world map, did it have white bottles at the top and bottom?
It did, yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but whoa, fascinating.
And did you go Sahara like
No,
yellowy, or did you stay green on the rest?
No, I did
Where's
it
your
all blue.
commitment? Is
I
mine.
did it all blue, but I have done Africa by every single country, which took me a long time.
Well done.
Wow.
And my geography is like sort of key stage 3 level.
Oh, right.
So
Everyone could copy a map.
I
mate.
really, yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, how are you? You all right?
So you must, because sometimes you must have to almost step away from it and stand on a ladder to get a bird's eye view of in the process of it as well.
Yeah,
Stop motion.
sometimes I go up it and I
Look at it and go,
realise
"Oh,
how
no."
like
You
rubbish
should-
it is.
Yeah.
I think you should time lapse one.
Yeah, I have time lapsed it. I'd love to stop motion it. Like I like the idea of that. I just need someone else to do it for me. What I really want as well is, do you do stop motion?
Not really.
Okay.
Time lapse more than anything.
Oh yeah, so I do time lapses of them. And what I really want is Google Maps. Other maps are available, or Google Earth to go over at the time where I'm doing it.
Ah, that would
Because
be
at the
really good.
moment, where I rent my house, it's still the previous owner,
Yeah.
as in Google, yeah.
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 And I really want like a piece to be on there.
That
How
just will
cool would that
randomly
be?
turn up at some point.
Yeah, I just I'd love to like a piece of art be on there and you can see it because not like the snooker table's not even on Google Earth at the moment, and I've been there for like 3 years, but I just like the idea of.
Is there
of
always a
thinking-
bit of art on there?
No. There's genuinely sometimes balls. Sometimes
okay.
I play. Biggest break is 62. Just so
Well
you know.
done. That's not bad.
Wind assisted.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I ask how much the table was?
And I
Because
could've-
I'm really interested
I could
in
have
getting
bought
it.
a car.
Really?
Yeah, so they're expensive just because
I'm no
they're
longer
so
interested.
expensive. I mean, a second-hand car, by the way. Like, I'm not talking about a new
Oh, right,
car,
okay.
But, yeah,
a
like
little
it
bit
was.
more interesting.
I'm
was-
thinking 3 to 4.
Slightly less than that, yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
Yeah.
Now you got me attention.
300. But like, you can get a pool table indoors for like £600-700. But
Yes.
yeah, like this is a specialist one that can, like, it can deal with like bird poo. So genuinely, Radio Kent broadcast from my garden in March,
Right.
About the show I was doing, and I actually made it was a night after the Oscars. So when's the Oscars? Is that January?
That's
When's it, February?
It's February, I think. Yeah.
Right, it was the night after the Oscars. So, like, live on air, I made an Oscars trophy out of gold ring pools, right? And a bird poo happened.
Oh
right?
no.
And it's the first time it's ever happened. And it's like went
Went
all over
everywhere.
yellow,
Oscar.
green, and
Oh
brown.
no.
Yellow, green, and brown ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time it's ever happened. And it was when they were around doing the broadcast, which is quite incredible. But yeah, it just washes off. But there you go.
Oh, God.
Didn't like my work, really.
How? Because you say it takes about 4 hours to do a piece like this.
Yeah.
What happens if? I mean, the weather conditions. You must have to have.
So I can only do it if it's below 11 miles per hour.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's got a wind speed indicator.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Because and I don't, but I just do it on. Yeah, I should have one of those thingies that spin or a wind sock. I'll just make my own just out of my own sock. So yeah, it has to, because the wind. So the rain doesn't really matter, but and shadows as well really annoy me because I've got. If you can see here, there's like a tree.
Yeah.
So like, but that kind of adds to the charm of it in some ways.
Yeah, no, it's in a garden.
Outside,
Genuine
yeah.
garden.
Yeah.
But
Is
like,
that AstroTurf you got below?
no, so it's grass,
It's
but that
protective.
black stuff is like plastic grids to protect the grass when
Oh,
I'm
okay.
walking around it constantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wind. So basically, it's like a proper pool table. So the balls go down like the alleyways and then go to the back.
Yeah, wicked.
So
Oh, I love
every so often, I will have to go underneath the table into the inner workings and fish out a load of lids because
Yeah.
they've been there for like months. Because they all fall in the lids.
Yeah.
So the wind is horrible. I've made pieces and the wind has just gone. And if you would like video me, you'd just see my face cry. Like it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you and I've done it quite a few times, so you have to The wind is the big one, and I can only do it if it's like a certain wind speed, which sounds absurd.
No,
but it's
understandable.
because of rain doesn't matter. The sun's quite frustrating because like the shadows. So the way the sun goes is like gradually fills the table. So like I kind of have to do it that I don't want shadow on the table, if you see what I mean, itself. So the wind is the I mean, again, if I had the money and I had a big house, this would be indoors. But now I don't think I'll ever have an indoors table if I ever am lucky enough to work, because I love having an outdoors.
I really want an outdoors table.
Playing in the garden. It's like
I've learned nothing about litter.
Oh, no.
I've just learned that there are tables.
I'm on commission for these tables. This isn't my art. This is someone else's. I'm selling this.
The tables.
I don't own a garden. I live in a flat.
So if you needed to get rid of the lids, you would then just take them to be recycled? How if
you don't get rid of lids?
okay.
God,
Sorry, what a stupid question.
Honestly, if lids ever become like Bitcoin, come to me.
It's like hoarder tendencies about it.
Only for lids.
Only for. And that's what people think. I'm a lid collector. I'm not a lid collector. Is in like the lids don't mean much to me. Like they're a form that I can make the. Like I don't pick up a lid and go, oh, like the classic 1973 lid. Yes.
But I bet when that cap shop came out in different shopping centres called Lids, I bet you got excited for a split second.
The cap. People.
But did you think it was Lids?
Quite a few people have sent me a photo outside that shop, going like, "Is this your shop?" For the hats. I just keep them. I don't know when, but I will. I mean, when I first started, doing the litter picking, I would find obviously all these like bottles and cans. Most of them are alcoholic. Now, ironically, I'm teetotal. Okay, so I'm picking up all this stuff and I'm putting them in my own recycling bin to recycle. Okay. Every Monday when the bin men or the people come,
I bet they think you're raging
they must
out.
have thought I had the best parties until they saw me and then were like, that guy doesn't have friends. Like every week there'd be like a bag full of vodka, just like every single drink you've ever seen is in the same bag. Every Monday consistently for quite a long time. I like Jägermeister, just every glass bottle, like as if I owned a pub. And then I would love to have. They were like, this guy. Oh no, he's not. I can see him.
He's just a raging alcoholic.
He's not having parties, is he? But like I would have all this stuff. So at one point, they're probably they might get a bag full of lids.
A lid, Okay. So what about glass then? You were saying about the cans taking this long to recycle and everything like that in the world.
I don't know about glass.
But glass, could you?
Because you get sea glass, don't you?
Yeah.
So like if you I saw something the other day where like mudlarking. You ever know? Do you know about that? Like mudlarking and like magnet fishing is where you so mudlarking.
I follow magnet fishers.
I've been a few times.
Have you? Is it good? I've got one of them magnets. Actually.
I found a bullet. That's all I've ever found.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it still?
It hadn't been shot.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about this big. But I.
Sorry,
you throw a magnet and pull up a bike or a World War II bomb.
So you basically are looking.
I love it. It's the Australian guy I listen to.
Bondi something, I think he's called.
Something like that, Bondi magnet fisher or something like that.
You're basically cleaning rivers essentially, but like
he goes to Amsterdam mainly, doesn't he?
Yeah, because the canals are like
they're just riddled with bikes, riddled with them,
and knives, unfortunately, and guns. Like when I've done it, you just get like just nails and boring things. But I saw this mudlarking. Mudlarking is where like you go along, say, the River Thames, and you're looking for old coins, because obviously the River Thames was like where the trade was. Everything happened. So you'll still find like loads of really old things, like 200, 300 years old.
I follow that guy as well.
And I was seeing there was a lady who found like sea glass, and she was able to say like this is from like a genuinely like a pirate bottle.
Wow.
From like 500-600 years ago.
Those long pipes. Those long white pipes.
The clay pipes.
Yeah, the pipes. Yeah. Still picking them up. Wait for the tide to go out, go down there, and they're picking them all up.
Yeah. But you can't, it's illegal to do it without permission, so you can't do it on the River Medway.
Oh, right.
So I wanted to do it. You have to get permission.
Even magnet stuff?
Yes, yeah. So,
I never knew that.
So who do you have to get permission from?
River and Canal Trust, I believe.
And is it easy to get permission?
I don't know. I've never done it in the Medway, so I've only ever done it in like places that
you don't need permission.
Basically, but mudlarking specifically, you definitely need permission because it's all protected, like the Thames. But it's really cool.
Yeah, but in a way, you're clearing it up. That's
you are, but then that's
all right. But there's reasons, obviously, they do it. I suppose in case you are pulling up a bomb. I suppose.
I have no idea. But yes, like the sea glass will last for a very long time. I don't know if it lasts longer than plastic. I don't know.
Well, glass is sand, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it is, isn't
glass
it?
is
And you do
sand.
find a lot of them get eroded down and knocked out, and then it gets washed up as almost like a pebble, doesn't it?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so it is.
That's where
like
marbles
the
come
kids-
from.
Yes. Well, yeah, and you kind of like you get you like I've been along like the beaches in Kent, and you'll pick stuff up that you wonder where it's shoveled. Do you remember in 1992, right? And
Yeah.
Do you remember the year? Yeah, you remember it. Yeah, it's the year I was born. That's birth of the Premier League as well. That's probably Premiership. Sorry,
Which Leeds won, I believe.
No. Oh yes.
What was
yes.
it, Blackburn?
No, Blackburn won 95.
Right, it's Leeds then. I think they won the first one.
Anyway, so that's
Sorry,
entirely
carry on.
irrelevant, isn't it? And I forgot now. What was I talking
Sorry.
about?
Oh,
92.
well done.
Right. So do you remember? And the kid, I do this thing in the schools, and the children love it. Although when I say about 1992, they're like, "Oh, you're so old."
I love the way he's doing this for us, though. The kids love it, so I'm going to try it out on YouTube.
Yeah, well, yeah, 'cause, yeah. So fellow 90s kids. Right. Do you remember the rubber ducks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember the spillage as well, and you find
Oh,
just
yeah.
So in 92 there was a
Did you find one?
No,
right.
like I love telling the story. So like it was going from Hong Kong to America.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You
You can
can see,
see the
Yeah.
waves.
See
Yeah,
where they've
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
And there's like it was 28,800 small rubber ducks,
Mm.
and they've gone all around the world. And
Yes.
I show the children how like one ended up in France, one ended up in Australia, and how they're just like perfectly intact.
Yeah,
And that's the best way of showing like
Yeah.
plastic will survive.
yeah.
Plastic's brilliant in that sense.
They learnt a
Wow.
lot from them ducks.
Yeah, because you
Was
find
it an
out.
accident, though?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
what-
yeah.
it
It's
was
a
an
container
accident.
Do you know they
Yeah.
lose containers?
Oh, all the
You
time.
watch
There's a
shipping.
Lego one as well.
If you look at shipping containers, right, the top ones are the cheapest
Yeah.
storage. The bottom ones are obviously.
Cars, aren't they? The
yeah,
bottom ones.
yeah,
Mm.
bottom ones are cars.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realise that
Or
was
my
like
art,
a-
obviously. That's been going around the scanner
Yeah,
the
well,
world.
that's scan around the container somewhere.
Absolutely. They're just chucking it off.
Wouldn't that be
one is-
ironic if someone was clearing up litter and they came across your
Yeah. That would-
one of your art?
my parents have just thrown it away. Don't want that. It's rubbish.
So have
On the
you
back of it, dear mum and dad, love you.
have you seen an increase or a decrease in the litter that you're picking up?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's seasonal, as ridiculous as it sounds. So in
Yeah.
summer, it's all
Yeah.
drinks.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
all
I
drinks.
can imagine,
You see a lot of those McDonald's milkshake things all the
Oh,
time,
right,
like
yeah.
like
The
white-
lids.
The lids.
No. Those. Yeah, but like just the cups themselves.
Of course, surely that's a medium. You want to? Is it medium? Medium.
medium.
That want to make stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those large
Yeah.
round discs.
Yeah, then they're like they break really easily, and but I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if litter's getting worse or better. I mean, it's consumerism, isn't it?
It's
So, like-
it's sad how they think just by changing the straws, it's going to save the earth.
Mm.
oh well, like yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know.
they think it's helping, so.
But you have to use
Let them-
two straws now to get through one drink.
Well, it's impossible.
I know
to
they're
keep cardboard
biodegradable.
anyway, because like
Yeah.
if you think about like if you pour coffee into cardboard, what's going to happen? It's going to go straight
Yeah.
through it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
has
they've been doing that for a while.
It
Haven't
has
they?
to be plastic.
It's got to
It
have
has
some
have
sort of
plastic, yeah.
coating
And
on
that's-
it.
Have
You can't blame
yeah.
them because how on earth are they meant to do it?
Yeah.
So, like it's all very good saying they should be all cardboard, but
It's not, yeah.
But how unless you invent something that can do it. But yeah, there was also a Lego spill that was like really famous, and like you can find Lego all around the world. For I don't know what year that was in, but there's like people that go around looking for Lego at the seaside,
Wow.
and it's just like I don't know how many pieces, tens of
Yeah.
thousands of Lego pieces.
When that tsunami happened, by the
Boxing Day.
Yeah. Was it, I'm going to get this
Oh,
wrong.
2004.
Nukushima? Am I saying that right? I don't think I'm saying it right.
I
Nukushima.
know it's the Boxing Day.
They were finding
Tsunami.
samurai swords across the water, and
There was a tsunami in Japan as well in 2000.
yeah, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I've got no detail whatsoever for you, but I
Thank you
did
so
watch
much.
something, and they were finding samurai swords and trying to give it back to the family, and
Mm.
like from I got no real information, but it
Thank
cost
you so much so for that. That was a really interesting story that you had no information on.
Sorry. Anyway, I hope you learned from that. Did you learn from that?
That Simon's an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was a samurai sword, but it was something that was a family heirloom type thing, and they managed to relocate the family who lost it due
Right,
to the
okay.
tsunami. That's all it was.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I thought it'd be good input for
But
you.
it would be cool to have, like going back to your McDonald's idea, to have like something like you collect all McDonald's stuff and make their logo or make that and then give it to them. Did you?
I've done that. Yeah, I made a McDonald's milkshake drink out of. Actually, it wasn't milk. No, it was out of white lids. But I've done Coke cans out of Coke lids.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So like made it
and then
Coke
send
lid.
it to them.
And
I bet they love that.
And I did do that. Yeah. Again, like one of the things I do in the school is actually the first thing I do in the school is I show them the can. I say, "Can anyone identify that?" And they're all like, "Yep, Coke." And I show them McDonald's, and then like, "Yeah, I can identify that." And I'm like, and I say every single time, and it's always worked. And at one point, it won't. Basically, I say to them, "Right, I bet you my laptop," which I do. I say, "I'll give you one of you my laptop if we were to go outside your school on the road and not find a McDonald's piece of litter."
Why did you plant one there just before the?
I'm not silly.
I
told you, I'm intelligent.
He walks in, going, "Right, is there? Yes, I can do that."
We need to find out where his next lecture is. Find out where his next lecture, and we will clean that road up while he's in there. He'll come out and go, "Well, where is it?"
Yeah. And then these kids will be like,
"Told you."
But yeah, like they're everywhere, and and the whole point is like you can, if we were to walk out here together, we'd find something within 100 meters.
Easily.
A McDonald's, I'm not blaming McDonald's. It's just that's just really.
No, it's just
it's not McDonald's.
It's the popularity of
it's
the product. Yeah,
throw it away.
Yeah, obviously, but they will get blamed, and I'm not going to say rightly so. It's just they're getting blamed for their success in a way because it could be another brand, and they're still
there's
dumping.
common things I find in McDonald's, Red Bull, and Coke.
Yeah,
Red Bull's everywhere. But they're because they're really popular brands. So like
that's it. It's because they're popular. Yeah.
But the thing is, because we were talking,
you're getting Prime lids, aren't you now? Sorry, Rachel. Sorry.
Yes. It's like the energy drink, isn't it? Yeah, you get those a lot. Yeah.
But like Vince was saying about bins, there was a big thing on the news recently about cities and town centres wanting more bins to be accessible and more available. And it's fine if people do put their rubbish in the bin, but if they're not regularly cleaned out, the rubbish is obviously just going to fall off the bin.
Yeah, they see like the dog poo.
And that isn't really littering as such, because people are thinking they're putting it in the bin, and if, like I said, a bit of wind comes in and knocks it all over. That's not really littering. Unintentionally.
I rubbish out when it's below 11 miles an hour.
Yeah.
If the bin's full, then you shouldn't class it as being a bin.
Why?
Just carry on till you find a bin that isn't full.
Yes.
Try that method.
But it's dog poo, isn't it? So like when you walk a dog and you see a.
Do you have a dog?
My parents have a dog,
right.
who I absolutely adore, I could talk. I screw talking about this. I can just talk about the dog. If you see like bins that are overflowing with the bags, don't you? And obviously that smells, and in summer it's not very pleasant. But they're just not emptied. But I don't,
we don't have a dog for that reason. I can't pick up dog.
No.
Crap.
Chicken's fine. I can handle chicken crap.
Do you have chickens then?
Yeah.
It'd be strange if you said you didn't have chickens.
No, but we just have chicken shit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I pick litter up, so like
we collect chicken shit.
You've still got more cool points than me right now.
So where do you see this sort of progressing in the next in the future, really?
So I want to take it on tour. I'd love to like people want to come and see me talk about it, but like, not just this art is that, and this is how I did it. Like, be entertained by me and talking about the shopping list and stuff like that. So yes, I've got like an hour and a half show already done. Like I've got it, I've made it.
Wow.
It's ready to go, but only like 4 people want to see it. So
have you got anything?
And they're all related to me.
Because I really believe our son's school at least would love this. So anything you can give us?
I'm contacting
some sort of presentation or leaflet or anything like that?
We can do that. Yeah, I'm contacting schools and I'm saying to them. I mean, it all comes down to budgets and things like that. But I'd love to do like small theatres. Like that's my aim. Like to do small theatres around here and Medway, and then gradually go out and. There's no one's doing it, so it's quite hard to like work out how I would. It's not a comedy tour, it's not. So it is quite unique, and it's not known enough for people to be like, I'm going to pay money.
It's the branding of it, really. How do you summarise it to say this is what it is?
I'm glad I got a good name though, Rubbish Snooker.
Yeah,
that's one of my cleverest things I've ever done. And so earlier my son is Paul, yeah.
Yeah.
So like obviously pool tables. My surname's Paul is in the place in Dorset.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the schools, I just say to them, "Don't call me Mr. Paul," because it sounds like a stage name. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just sounds like
Yeah.
So I'm
Mr.
like,
Maker.
yeah. He was at Pride of Midway.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm like, just call me Kieran, because if you call me Mr. Paul, I feel like a sort of a television presenter.
Yeah.
But that's but it's complete, like when Kieran Poole, I make art on a pool table. Yeah, that's genuine. But that's what I want to do. I want to take it on tour. Obviously I'd love to do more schools and stuff, and it's really hard to sell up, like really hard.
You got to die first to earn money from it.
Well, so basically.
That's all what I
and
said
then
growing up.
there'll be a snooker table going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Good thinking. But load of bottles on it. I'm like, why aren't the balls coming down?
Oh yeah.
He's got
Jammed up. Load of bottle
There'll be a
tops in
pool
it.
table going, so you
That's
just need to lift
perfect.
it. It weighs half a ton.
Oh,
So-
God.
Have you ever done a pool table? You know, like with all the balls, but in bottles. So
Yeah, I
play-
did. So I did a triangle of reds and
Yeah.
yellows. Yeah, totally. I get that. Did that, and so I've done loads. So they're all here, aren't they? So I can cheat.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Do you need the toilet?
Have you tried 3D?
No. It would.
That buildings.
Yeah,
Like do London with the gherkin and everything.
Well,
That'd
I
be
did,
amazing.
yeah, but like glue and like I like.
You want to
it.
reuse.
Yeah,
You want to reuse.
yeah,
Blue
and-
tack.
Yeah. I don't think I have the skill to it, to be honest.
I believe in you.
I believe in you, but I believe in you as well.
We should come. And
That's
have
where
a
you
s-
fail.
We should come and do one.
Never believe in us too.
But like, do you know? Have you ever been to like Brands Hatch? Like that's Brands Hatch there. So,
Yes,
like,
I've run around it. I've never driven it.
So that's like I've done like
Yeah.
I can never remember all the pieces I've done, to be honest.
So was that in a 3D sort of format?
Sort of, but
But
no,
stayed at the stands and-
they're just it's just all bird's
Okay.
eye view. I'd like to. There's lots of things I'd like to do with it.
I think
Would
your
you-
art will improve as you go, and you'll start doing shadowing. So it look,
That's what- yeah.
no, what I'm saying is you'll start doing shadowing, and it will actually, from an
Yeah.
angle, look like it's.
I've only been doing it like about 2 years, and like it probably would.
You know, you could probably get. You know, when those people set up a camera and they draw a hole in the pavement.
Oh, right. One of the best things I've seen, right? And so I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. Okay.
Okay.
He's a
and
Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie. Are you?
No, my son
you?
is, and his
Oh,
best friend is.
Excellent. Good to hear that. So basically, like I saw someone who made a massive Taylor Swift mural, like of her face, right, out of dice or dye, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I never know which way around.
So
it is.
you had like a table about 5 times the size of this with dice, and then we just turn them over to different numbers between
Yes.
1 and 6, and it was stunning.
So 6 obviously would be the brighter of the
Darker.
colour,
Yeah.
and 1
And
would
it-
be the
honestly,
shadows.
I was thinking, what is the point anymore?
Yeah,
Like that's
amazing, isn't it?
unbelievable.
yeah.
What amazes me when
It's worth looking at.
someone gets loads of photos and creates a bit of art, and then when you zoom in on it, it's all different photos.
That's
Oh,
like that's
yeah.
like
and
the
they've not
David
been
Hockney.
manipulated
Yeah, I
either.
saw something of the Queen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where it's loads
Oh,
of photos that
it's
make up a
unbelievable.
large. Yeah, I'd love to do something like that, but at the moment, so I have considered making something of all the pieces of art added together as an image.
Okay.
See what I mean?
That's
To
a good
make
idea.
something
Yeah.
else. But yeah, like the dice was just unreal, and that was like I don't know how long it would have taken.
God, how long did it
Well,
take him to find them on the street?
Oh, I don't know. Like there was, it must have been like 10,000.
He must have been outside a casino.
Yeah. Who litters dice?
Vegas.
Also, when you litter it, I bet it lands on 6 because it's like, oh, why now? Like, double 6 now. Tell you what, I found quite a lot. A weird thing you find littered: playing cards. I find
Right.
playing cards littered a lot.
Is that Chris Harding? There's all the magicians out there.
Yeah. There's
That
often
is
quite-
strange.
yeah.
But when they've sat down, they've had a picnic.
Like
Maybe.
the whole pack
They're playing-
or a playing
Quite
card?
a few, just quite a few.
It's
of them.
wind
Right.
related. I reckon
Yeah,
it's,
probably.
it's going through the same problem you're going through. They're playing cards on a picnic table. And
No
the
one's
wind's
got the problems I've got. No one has.
I think I agree with that. No, it's really good. It's very noble of you as well.
Absolutely.
It really is. You're bringing a message to the younger kids, younger generation.
Also, adults, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's not just, you know, the schools are like really, like the last few months, like doing the
Yeah,
schools.
Yeah,
right, okay.
That's very new.
And you're making a bit of a comedy out of it, which I like as well. And
But
you're a
it's-
funny guy. so.
It's the message, like to the adults. This is how much you litter. You need to stop doing this for me to stop being able to
you know,
do
that,
art.
like the one that the bit of litter that really angers me it's going to sound really weird, but they're fruit shoot lids. You know, fruit shoot.
Oh,
lids,
yeah.
right? Now, the reason behind that, right, is this is my theory. I might be wrong, but this is my theory, right? So, teenage gangs or groups of teenagers, right? When you were a teenager, did you go into the park and drink Strongbow or another cider, or did you drink fruit shoots? what did you drink? Like alcohol, like things you shouldn't, right? So that means that children littering fruit shoots are probably with their parents at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on about those little clear bits on top of the fruit shoot?
lids, yeah.
The green sports cap lid, as well as the.
Yeah.
As well as
Right. It's usually that thing that's got nowhere to go once you've taken it off.
Yeah, but those that basically like so. People have got, it's teenagers. I don't think teenagers are walking along drinking fruit shoots.
No, it's the kids and the mums.
But the parents.
Everyone's to blame. Everyone's to blame.
The parents are likely, not definitely, but likely to be with them when they're littering. Surely, because a fruit shoot is something that young children drink.
Yes.
You know, so like it's really easy to go, it's these young scallywags, but it's not really. I've never seen a group of like teenagers, you know. All drinking
sitting in the park drinking
the other thing I want to...
That really annoys me when I see them, because they must.
The other thing I want to bring up, I would say there's a high percentage of people that litter that don't set out to litter. They just drop it or miss the bin.
Yeah.
But can't be asked to pick it and go, fuck it.
I probably littered. Right? I mean, I definitely know as a kid I littered because it wasn't cool to put it in the bin. Right? Let's be honest.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it. You know, let's be honest, right? I definitely littered when I was a kid. Right? Yes, and I've accidentally littered quite a lot. But yeah, probably. It annoys me when I'm driving. I did a talk. I did a workshop at a school, and I was like feeling really good about it. I was driving back, and there was a van in front of me, right? And on the driver's side, they threw a vape out that side. On the passenger side, they threw another vape out, right? Now, vapes are plastic, and they've got a little battery in them.
Yeah.
They will last a very, 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 very long time. And I was driving, I was like, what's the point? Like, you're just chucking them out.
Yeah, I know. That's blatant.
And then it's like,
You've
like,
literally spent all your morning saying to these kids, don't do this, don't do this. You know, put your litter in the bin. And then seconds.
And cigarettes are lit. I mean, I don't like it when people throw cigarettes out of cars, but they're a small fire. So there's like, I don't understand it why they throw them out, because they shouldn't. Put it in a bottle of water or something. There's another phenomenal story, because all my stories are phenomenal. That's what I used to do with stand-up. I'd say that, and they'd be like, all right, come on then. I shouldn't have started with that, should I? Damn.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Right, so like, there's this part where I live where every week there are 12 plastic water bottles, right, littered in the same place every week with that much water in them, okay? And a cigarette in each one. So what's happening is someone is driving along, smoking in their van, putting it out quite sensibly into their bottle,
and then just checking.
And they then, they're collecting them,
and then putting them
in their
all
van,
in their park.
And then collectively taking all 12 bottles and chucking it in the same place every week. And I don't know who it is, but they must think a fairy comes along and takes it, because I will go and get it. And this has been happening.
You can guarantee it will be there.
This has been happening.
Make a box with a message on it.
Well, thank you.
With a picture of that bottle and say, put it in here.
Yeah, because I campaign for a bin to put there or something, because they're sensible enough to put it in the water, which is quite a good idea. You know? But they're not chucking them out because they're all in the same place together. So it is heartbreaking, but it's quite funny at the same time. I find it quite funny that someone has gone,
going through that.
That's my done. And then, but like, just take it home. Like, I don't understand bottles. If you're driving a van or a car, bottles don't weigh a lot and they don't take much space.
So he has to literally pull over, stop, get out of his van, collect all of the 12 bottles that he's had that week.
Which is quite a faff.
And then take them out and dump them.
Have you ever tried to hold 12 bottles? It's quite a faff. Like, if I was doing that, they'd fall on the floor. So I'd be dribbling down my legs. So like, I don't, but that genuinely is every week.
Because you must have, like we were saying earlier about the vapes,
it's probably my best friend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably
it's probably on the wind-up.
It's probably using the ones you've put in the bin.
Yeah.
The same ones every week.
But the vapes are so easily available now, aren't they? And they're so disposable. You must, when you go litter picking, you must
you see them at night as well. Have you ever been driving along and there's been like a flashing light on the edge of the road on the curb and you think it's a UFO, but it's a vape because there's a little LED light in there?
No, if I'm honest.
Right. Okay. You have, haven't you? You have. Yeah, there you go. Right in, PO Box 474.
When we do now, we're going to be like, we know
there
that.
We go. You'll see a little
Kieran's
flashing light.
right.
You think, like, it's like some sort of UFO.
So what's it running out?
I assume so. Yeah,
I imagine the flashing says I'm running out of battery.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere, and they're plastic and they're disposable.
The weird thing about that though is they're rechargeable and they can be topped up.
I don't think all of them are.
Not all of them. Some of them are.
I think they're putting a restriction on that very soon.
Well, there's a restriction on age.
Age of vape.
But you see them everywhere.
And you'd like to say that the younger age are the ones that are dumping them, but that's not necessarily true.
No, as proven by these adults throwing them out.
Yeah, it's the reverse of the.
And you see them on the road,
right?
Yeah. You see them on the road, like you see. I mean, a lot of young people unfortunately do vape because it seemed to when I was at school it was smoking, wasn't it? And obviously, I didn't, mother. But now I suspect it's vapes.
Yeah.
And I suspect in secondary schools vapes are everywhere.
Yeah, I imagine they are.
And I don't even know it's like a liquid chemical, isn't it? I don't quite understand what they are, but it's like plastic, and then there's a battery. So there's an electric wire, I assume. So if you litter that, it's not going to be good.
No,
and it's going to last
definitely got heaters in them, haven't they?
Yeah. So I don't know how they work, but I mean they're not a bad idea really. If you reuse them.
I imagine the intentions were good. Getting people off smoke, and you're seeing more vapors than you are smokers now.
But people chuck them out of the car because they don't want to. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't want the vape in your car. I don't know. I don't try to work it out because it just does my head in really. But,
brilliant. How do we find you? I know you're there.
Drop litter.
I know you're here.
Drop litter and I appear.
That's probably
like
not the
Santa
best
Claus.
message. I was thinking more like social media than dropping litter and seeing if you appear like a fish on a hook.
It's like Santa Claus, like if you drop this and you're sitting there waiting.
Explain that more, Rach. How do you wait for Santa Claus? What is it you're dropping?
Well, no, like you put out the food for him, don't you?
Yeah, and the
like the mince pies and stuff like that.
What are they called? Not socks.
Stockings. Yeah, like on the
socks. Put the
fireplace
socks out for Santa.
No, I have to put trainer socks out.
Your wind
Yeah, my wind sock, which I use for
Do people get you like lids for your birthday as a laugh?
No, but they probably will now.
So if they find like a really weird lid, they would send it to you.
Actually, I'll tell you what, my friend went to Japan recently and brought back a lid for me. Yeah, because it was a lid, like a brand that I'd never heard of. So yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, we've got a lid you can have, actually.
Thank you.
We've got a Jedi, a Star Wars Coke bottle, which is round. It's done. Are you into Star Wars?
I'm not, but that does sound quite cool.
It's a round Coke bottle because we went to the Star Wars. I know we've kept it. The Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And it's done in Star Wars. The Coke, it's a Coca-Cola, which is really strange.
Okay.
But it's not got Coca-Cola written on it. It's in the Star Wars language.
Yeah.
And it's like a thermal detonator, so it's a round.
It's about that big, isn't it? And it's got this really cool...
I think we've got a diet one and a normal one.
Yeah. I know, Sprite
they're
and a normal one. Yeah. And,
Sprite, yeah.
And that lid's... It's like the top of a bomb.
Like a grenade
Yeah,
type
grenade
thing,
type thing.
Anyway.
Yes,
lovely way to end it.
So Rubbish Snooker is on Instagram.
Yes.
Rubbish Snooker. Yeah, and then rubbishsnooker.com is where you can see all the art, and there's a gallery in there, and then you can book workshops.
You on TikTok or anything like that?
I am, Rubbish Snooker.
Everything Rubbish Snooker.
Everything is Rubbish Snooker in my life. Absolutely, yeah. Everything is Rubbish Snooker.
Excellent. Kieran, it's been lovely having you on.
It's amazing.
Thank you very much for showing us your rubbish.
Should we go and vape?
Not that you are rubbish. Yeah, let's go and vape. And
throw on the floor.
And where are we dumping this? Just fly tipping it around the corner?
Let's find someone else to pick it up.
Because that's another question. Do you if people are fly tipped?
Oh,
you don't go.
I'm just one man.
That's like Christmas for him.
He's like,
I've got loads of mattresses.
Stacked up in his
They take so much room up that I don't have a bed. I sleep on my sneakers.
He even tempted putting a pee on the lower one and trying to see if he can get a good night's sleep on top.
That's what he has to climb up to get the bird's eye view. It's not actually a ladder. He just climbs.
No, it was a fly tip ladder. Yeah. I never actually bought the table. It's fly tipped.
And he just put it together.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming on,
so
mate.
much.
Nice to meet you. And I hope it all goes well. I know it will go well because you're sending a good message. So.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh, song. Do you want a song?
In what sense?
Explain.
No, would you like us to sing to you? No. We've got a playlist, and every time we have a guest on, we add the song of their choice to the playlist. Snooker Loopy.
No. I mean, that's like that would be.
I might put Snooker Loopy on there anyway for you.
Can it be like does it have to be a fun song?
It can be anything you want.
Okay. U2. They're my favourite band.
Okay.
Oh God, I might have to write this down.
Sometimes You Can't Make It on Your Own. It's my favourite song.
Sometimes You Can't Make It.
Lovely song.
Write it down, Mitch.
Yeah, I haven't got a pen on me.
Oh, well done.
I'll do it because sometimes you can't make it on your own, and I will help you do it.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Brilliant. Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Bye, everyone. Bye. This podcast has been brought to you by Snug Dubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.